Hi, welcome to House of Cards, a video podcast hosted by Cardinal Points, SUNY Plattsburgh's student-run independent newspaper. On the series, we like to dive into the more personal side of D3 athletes, talking about their seasons, talking about their lives, talking about their academics, and really giving them a platform. My name is Colin Bulbrook. I'm the sports editor at Cardinal Points, and I will be hosting today. Today, I'm here with women's rugby players Izzy Kocienda and Shannon Tracy.
Hi, my name's Izzy. I'm a senior on the women's rugby team. Also thrower on our track team. Fitness wellness major. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shannon, aka Big Sexy. I am the captain of the Plattsburgh women's rugby team. I am a graduating senior and an English major.
Awesome. And so the season just ended. TNT just happened. And you guys are both leaving the team, right? So, unlike most sports at Plattsburgh, this is a club level sport. And just up to a couple years ago, there wasn't a ton of support for the team. So how did both of you come to join the club?
Well, in my freshman year, I was looking for something to do, and I wasn't necessarily interested in Greek life, so I was like, why not join a club sport? And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do club lacrosse, and then they became D3, so that was out of the question. So then I just joined rugby because why not?
So in 2017, I was in New Zealand during the World Cup. Watched the All Blacks win. Really cool experience. Graduated high school 2019. Darcy, she was on the rugby team with us for a few years. I went to high school with her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Big. She had family on the rugby team. She got me to join.
Yeah, and that was years ago now, and we're a pandemic away from that, and you've had your fair share of tournaments and TNTs, and that's it, right? So when TNT was over, what was going through your head then, and what's going through now? Just like this sucks, it's over.
Yeah, I'd say it was emotional.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
High
I'd say,
emotions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like bittersweet because
Yeah.
we like worked for the entire year
Mm-hmm.
for TNT, like for this moment to happen. So it was like very exciting, but also it was our last tournament, so it was pretty sad.
Yeah, and as a club sport, it doesn't really get the support that NCAA sports do, and it kind of forces you guys to come closer as a group. And how would you describe the bond that you guys had? I've talked to a bunch of players at TNT, and all of them said the word family. How would you describe the connection you have with the group?
I'd say it's a unique bond that we have. Every team sport has their own little niche.
Mhm.
And to say that, the women's rugby team is a family, I don't think that really describes it. It's a little bit deeper than that. But
Yeah. I talked to alumni Sky Fenton for the article. They're great. I love them. And they were talking about how at one point there were he said 6 members, right?
yeah.
What's it been like to see the growth of this team?
Oh my God, I've seen the team at like highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
When I first joined, there was about 16 members,
Mm-hmm.
and then post COVID, she's right, there was like 6.
I was the only member in my rookie class.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
so-
it like shot up to 30, and then it shot down to 12, and now we're about like 25.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have 25 strong players who like are coming back
Mhm.
despite.
What do you think was causing that spike in participation?
I think we needed a strong leader,
Mhm.
and now that we have like Reptar as our coach,
Mhm.
he like makes everyone feel really good about themselves. He's always helping. He's not demeaning towards anyone,
Yeah.
and it like makes people like really want to try harder and like show him that they can do it.
He also he will admit when he doesn't know something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
And he shows up to practice the next day with an answer to that question.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
puts in a lot of work.
Yeah, and they're talking about Jake Mainville, former men's rugby player. So why do you call him Reptar again?
That's just his rugby name, and it's not really like a common thing to call your coach by their rugby name, but
Mhm.
We still do. He's young.
We were
Right.
supposed to only stick by Jake, and
Yeah.
that
Right.
lasted for a practice.
Right.
I mean, like, cause I knew him before he was
Mm-hmm.
our coach, cause he's been the assistant coach for the men's team for a couple years now, so he didn't really need to have like a proper.
And then he was kind of thrown into the role.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So walk me through that.
Pretty much, Coach Morgan took on both teams, both men and women's teams, last semester, and Reptar was still an assistant coach. But whenever like Coach Morgan couldn't really focus on us, he would tell Reptar like, do this with the women's team, like do that, whatever. And then by the end of the semester, he kind of was just like, yep, you're it. You're their new coach. And he was like, okay.
And why was that position empty?
So Morgan was haphazardly thrown into the position of men's and women's. Our previous coach, Chris Rosenquist, the mayor of Plattsburgh.
Tesla owner.
Yes, Tesla owner, Chapter 1 owner. Just a lot on his plate. He has a young kid too, so it was just I think he was spread a little bit too thin. You have other priorities when you're a business owner.
I mean, like he wasn't making it to practice at all, really.
Yeah.
There was times like for multiple weeks straight that I was running practice. I am not a coach. I'm not a professional. I'm just like them.
And, you know, I talked to a couple players and they said Coach Reptar, you know, basically taught them how to play. What do you think brings people to this team, like, even if they're not, like, rugby fanatics?
Is that you don't have to have experience to join. One of our athletes, Grace, this is the first sport she's ever played.
Me too.
So
wow.
I never knew that. So, like, I feel like that's really big to come to college and just be like, yep, I'm going to try a new sport for the first time. And it's just, like I said before, like, it's deeper than a family. Like, we will welcome anyone, no matter, like, if they're willing to try it out for practice, try it out for that practice.
Dude, I get jealous. Like, I'm taking pictures. I want to go tackle somebody.
it's
You
so
know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
God, yeah, it's so much fun.
So, the first sport you ever played?
Yeah, I always wanted to play a sport and then, like, just never did. So I was like, okay, when I get to college, maybe I'll do something. I wanted, like, a way to, like, stay in shape, too, because I really don't like going to the gym. And then I ended up just, like, falling in love with it.
Yeah. And you also play track and field. What's it like managing the two? Because you do have a winter season and a spring season, and then you have a fall and a spring season for rugby.
It's really hard. So for track, our preseason, we do cardinal conditioning in the fall. That is every day. You're either lifting or you're doing some form of cardio. For throwing, it's all like explosive work. But it really translates a lot into what we do with rugby. As a back, it's all explosive. So you have a lot of that crossover, which makes it really easy. I found that I became a little bit of a better thrower because of rugby. But it really wears you down. There was one practice last spring or last fall, sorry. I had 3 practices in one day. We were doing a 15 scrimmage and I just sat down in the middle of the pitch because like my body just could not handle it anymore.
Definitely.
So
yeah, and you know, you're going to grad school now. You said in New Hampshire.
yes,
right?
Franklin Pierce University.
Do you anticipate? Do you know if they have a club?
So I'm pretty sure they have a club team. But I'm in Manchester. I'm not part of their main campus.
Oh, okay.
Manchester does have a few clubs. It's not a question that I'd look into.
Right.
Look into playing.
Yeah. Are you gonna be back for TNT? Either of you?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait.
What do you think it's gonna be like just playing with the team again?
I think it's gonna be so much fun.
I can't wait to play against the team.
Really?
Oh, I'm gonna tackle every woman that I have played with this year.
Yeah.
At
And
TNT next year.
in this year, you know, you did play people you have played with before.
Yep.
What's that experience like?
It's so much fun. I love just like, because we all like to target each other. It's all in good fun though. And just like tackling like your old captain
Yeah.
or like your roommate or like
Your vet.
or your vet, yes, someone that like means something to you in a different way than
Mhm.
the current team does. It's so much fun.
And like all our vets have taught us rugby in a different way than any coach could, just because
Really?
like we were on our own for a little while. And so to look at whoever, like Maggie, like she's my vet, to look at Maggie and say, well, I know you know everything I know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how this goes.
Yeah. And you both had rookies this year,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Well, my rookie is Alex. She is currently a junior. I got her last year when she was a sophomore.
Right.
And yeah, I guess she'll be a senior next year. I can't wait to tackle her at
You
TNT.
adopted me this year.
And I kind of adopted Izzy because her vet graduated. And Maddie Taylor, too.
Yes.
Right.
So I was like, why not? The more the merrier.
What's that relationship like between vet and rookie?
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Really?
don't really know how to explain it. Because I
Right.
feel like it's not like a big little thing. Because I know that
Yeah.
Greek life does big
Right,
little.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar, though. But I don't know.
We have our lineages, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And you have like your special relationship with your rookies. Peppy and Lauren were my rookies this year. To see Peppy's another graduating.
Two very strong players.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But to see Peppy score a try at TNT, where like that was the last tournament like we all shared together.
Yeah.
To see her score a try, well, you see your rookies score a try. That's such an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
Lauren
Like
is
pride?
Oh my god, yeah, pride.
Really?
Lauren is a powerhouse on the pitch.
Yep.
She's one of our
Absolutely.
scrummies, and just to see how dominant she is, that's another. It's just a different kind of pride you have.
Definitely. And I know at most of your tournaments this year, you can't bring the full squad, right?
Mhm.
So everybody's there at TNT. What's it like actually having the whole team there?
Oh my god, it's great. I feel like it just brings the energy. I like when I was at TNT, I felt like I had the most energy I had for any tournament like this entire year.
Really?
I was not tired. I was like ready to keep on going.
I always keep a bottle of pre-workout in my bag for like halfway through the tournaments. Didn't touch it.
Really?
Yeah, no, you're just riding a high the entire time.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite moment from the day?
My favorite moment was after our game against Hamilton. We had a
Continentals.
big win against them, and I ran into Alex afterwards. And she's just one of those players where it's like she'll hype everyone up, but if she like is specifically complimenting you on how you played in that game, you're like, man, like I did something great today.
Nice.
And so she's like dapping me up, and she's like, Izzy, where'd that come from? It was such a nice moment.
Yeah, honestly, pinpointing like a favorite moment is kind of hard for me, but I think like a moment that I like genuinely enjoyed would have to have been when we did our team cheer with the alumni,
yeah.
and our circle just got like that much bigger, and everyone was cheering. Like the energy was there. It was so much fun. I kind of got choked up.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part learning about all this is like everyone I've talked to has said a different moment. Like it's just hard to pick one, you know?
Yeah.
So we talked about the participation numbers over the years. What do you think is in store for the future of women's rugby here?
I think we're gonna have great numbers.
Yeah,
Really?
I think it's gonna continue to grow. In the past, like it's been kind of iffy, but I feel like there's like Reptar is like taking charge of like being a present coach and listening to everyone's concerns. And I think like the leadership positions for like next semester. So far we only have president and VP, Evie and Marissa, but I know that whoever is going to be the captains are going to be amazing. And like everyone just like wants to be friends with each other. Like no one wants to like have issues. They just want to show up, have a good time, hang out with friends. Like that's where everything changed. Like I think the fact that people just like want to be around each other.
What would you say to somebody that's thinking about joining?
Give it a shot. Like what is there to lose?
Yeah. So if we take TNT away, What do you have a favorite tournament throughout the season, or even going back to the fall season?
I honestly really liked our tournament at St. Bonnie.
Mm.
It was the first tournament of the year and our hardest.
Mhm.
I think it broke a lot of nerves. So the first team we played was St. Bonaventure, who is transitioning into D1 from small college.
Right.
They are currently ranked third in small college for NCR. So obviously a very good team. But it was just a really good learning experience for everyone. And just we became really close with the Ithaca team that day. Energy was really high for D1 teams and the small college teams. Everyone was cheering each other on. We have our reservations about St. Bonnie, but everyone was cheering each other on. Like, the energy was so high, and we just knew, well, we're only going to get better the rest of the season. Like, you know?
I agree with that. I feel like that's a good answer. I don't know. I feel like the tournament that I really enjoyed would have to be, it was last fall. It was at Clarkson, and we won the entire thing. And no one expected to even win any of the matches because everyone was just like scared. It was like the first tournament, and our numbers were actually lower than they are now. And everyone's like we're gonna do awful, we're gonna suck. And I was like, why are you saying that? Like, it's your first tournament, like, you're gonna be fine, blah blah blah. And then we ended up,
We had a great fall
winning
season.
the entire thing, and everyone was just like riding on that high for a minute, like, okay, maybe we do got it in us. I was like, yes, you do. Everyone else is at the same level as we are. Everyone's also learning too.
And we were still in developmental then, so we weren't in league yet. And I'd say by the end of 15s, Plattsburgh was a powerhouse.
I agree with
Like,
that.
if you walked away from, like, you went into a tournament and you said, oh yeah, SUNY Plattsburgh's gonna be there, everyone got a little scared, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good feeling.
You briefly mentioned reservations
About St. Bonnie.
Yeah, do you want to get into that?
So rugby is a big game of respect.
Sportsmanship is valued.
Yeah. And I like to preface that before any game we go into. You know, if you don't have that energy on the pitch, it's going to really translate into the game, even with sir. So you have to call the coach or the ref, sir.
Yeah, you have to respect them. And also, if you're not a captain, you can't really talk to them either.
Really?
Yeah. You have to ask your captain to
be the liaison,
Unless, like, your shoe is, like, untied, if you're in a scrum. Sir, they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. There's some leeway to it. So it's a big game of respect. And St. Bonaventure was not the nicest team we've played against. They played great rugby. Not going to belittle that. They deserve to be where they're at.
They got mad skills.
But they played dirty in some aspects, just used some unkind language towards a few of our girls. Sometimes. They choked someone out, to put it kindly.
Yeah. I don't want to see you next Tuesday, Bonnies.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that because of the size of the sport, do you think that, like, brings a different energy cross team wise? Because, like, you know, let's say you're playing like hockey or basketball, you know, you're not gonna be like you're gonna shit talk, you know, you're not gonna be best friends with, you know, people you're playing. But do you think that, like, the kind of solidarity you guys have in that aspect, do you think that, like,
because it's such a niche sport?
Yeah, because it's niche and
totally.
because
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially like playing as a woman.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like you can connect with other teams and other people, and, like, even if you're playing hard on the pitch and like really beating the shit out of each other, you step off the pitch and then you're like best friends.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was there for the Paul Smith scrimmage, and, like, you're just trading jerseys. Like, here, have some players.
And we have a very special relationship with the Paul Smith's team.
Really?
So the women's coach, Rebby, she's an alumni of our program.
Oh, wow.
They play Morgan, Rebby, and I think her husband, I might be wrong, but they all play on the Mountaineers together. So they're all buddy-buddy. We're always happy to donate a player or two in a scrimmage or friendly if someone needs it. Because you're not going to be able to learn how to play the game if you don't have a full team.
Right.
Yeah, it's difficult even at practice. Like when you don't have a big turnout, you get like
Mhm.
9 people. It's like, okay, what can we possibly do?
Mhm.
Some passing drills, like we want a scrimmage.
Yeah.
And rugby's unique in the fact that you guys have 2 seasons here.
Mhm.
And it's really clutch because we don't have a football team. What somebody that is kind of bored, what would you say to somebody that wants to come, that wants to get into rugby? What do you think the appeal is to somebody that wants to watch it?
I like telling the people at the involvement fairs how, like, this last semester or this last year, I was lucky enough to be president.
Mm.
It's not easy to hold an e-board position.
Right.
I work 2 jobs and I'm on our track team.
Yeah.
Like, to manage all of that is not easy, to say the least.
Mhm.
But to be
Worth
able
it.
to do rugby and all of that, it says a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So you're president and you're captain.
Mhm.
What responsibilities come with those roles?
All right. So my responsibilities, like regardless of like the CPR training and Title IX and all that,
You talk to the refs.
talking to the ref, it's like trying to schedule like how many people can come to practice, like what days would be majority,
Mhm.
like telling people like how to do certain things on the pitch,
Mhm.
giving them advice. During games, I feel like you probably saw me like yelling, like do this, do that, but
You have
like
to
in
be
a loving
assertive.
way, in a loving
Yeah.
way. Just like assertively teaching the ladies like how to play the game.
How about you?
So as president, it's a lot more of the behind the scenes. So I helped coordinate. I mean, Shannon helped a lot. I can't say I did this all myself. Like, I feel like this year presidential duties were shared. Honestly, Shannon
Yeah.
was president in the past. I was out with a knee
They
injury.
took my being president in the past to heart
Yeah.
and really put me to work.
Yeah. So all the emails that Melissa was supposed to send to me, Shannon got.
Oh.
So I just everything forward.
Because I used to respond and I was like, why the fuck am
Yeah.
I
I
responding?
think Morgan
This
still
is for
thought she was the
Izzy.
president for a while. He didn't know my. So Reptar texts me and he's like, "Hey, I'm giving Sean your number." I said, "Okay, that's fine, but Sean already has my number." He said, "To be fair, he probably does, but he also asked me for your name," which says a lot about him. But.
Yeah.
So anyway, to get to the point of what president does, help coordinate teams. So who's going to be at TNT?
Mhm.
That's really the main thing, honestly.
That was a big thing. But you also did a lot of other stuff like travel forms.
Oh yeah, travel
and
forms,
attendance,
lens, yeah.
like all of like the insurance stuff and like all
That
of the special
paperwork,
paperwork.
yeah.
Izzy. And there's a lot of it. Like not even gonna cap. There's a lot.
You
of
really
it.
have to
Not
hound
even
the
gonna cap.
hound the girls
Yeah,
for it
and
too.
seriously.
You can't be their friend and say, "Hey, we have to travel tomorrow."
Like no, like I need it now.
Yeah.
I was talking to Coach Morgan, and he was talking about how important alumni are.
Mhm.
What kind of role do they play to the current team, and like how
Well,
crucial
all
are
of
they?
the jerseys that you saw us wearing at TNT, they were supplied by the alumni.
Oh wow.
Even the men's team. So
Really?
everything that we pretty much wear or what we do, we're
Mhm.
able to do because of the alumni.
Wow.
Yeah, fundraising, all alumni,
The new scholarships.
scholarships, like they help us get new equipment. Like one thing, like balls. We
Our
always
rucking sleds,
need
too.
new- Yeah.
Those are alumni.
Like they help us out with everything. They also like will come and support
Mhm.
if we're in their area.
Yeah.
Like they're always cheering us on. And like they're for real fans and they come
Oh my
back
gosh,
and they
yeah.
play and they're like a good support system.
I don't think any other team on campus has, maybe hockey, has
Maybe.
maybe hockey, has an alumni association like rugby does. So after TNT, everyone's emotional, whatnot.
Mhm.
Reptar comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, listen, like, don't be sad. Be happy because you're alumni now. Like,
Mhm.
you are family." And
still
you
kinda
just
sad.
oh my god, yeah, I'm devastated. But you take that to heart and you say, well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
true.
am family. Like
Mhm.
I just have like 10
Yeah,
times
because
more
it
family
doesn't
members
end
now.
at TNT.
No.
Like your last TNT is never really your last TNT.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like your last student game.
Yeah.
Right.
Big whoop.
Or
I'll be
even
back
like the
next year.
Mountaineers, like that's a ton of our alumni play for the Mountaineers.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
They've been like in and out, depending. But yeah, Mountaineers were like this.
Yep.
So there were more teams at TNT this year than before.
Yeah.
So what do you think went into that, and what do you think made that happen?
So Reptar was saying that we've had the most numbers we've had since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We had five teams in attendance. We lost Sienna because they had
Yeah.
the stomach bug.
As well as
quote
St.
unquote.
Michael's and like
Yeah.
St. Lawrence. I don't know, but we had 5 teams.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good turnout. And you know what? We played 4 games.
For little
so-
Plattsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we won all of them except for the alumni games.
Yeah, true,
Right.
true.
But,
So-
but technically, Plattsburgh wins either way.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Plattsburgh wins in the end. That's
Yeah.
all
Plattsburgh
I could ask
always
for.
wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So we've been kind of sappy.
Mhm.
What are you gonna miss the least?
You know what? Let me think this one through.
Mm-hmm.
Miss the least.
Like, there's got to be something that you don't like, or
Morgan's
something about
rants.
practices.
I feel
or-
like I'm expected to do a lot of things that aren't in my title as captain.
Mm-hmm.
Co-president.
Constantly getting phone calls and emails and go get this and do that and tell them this. And you need to come here and come to this meeting because I have 2 things to tell you instead of sending me a text. Just a lot of, when I say jump, you better jump as high as you can type stuff.
Yeah. How about you?
Honestly, I'd say pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Shannon's got Shannon's got the brunt of this.
Yeah.
I kind of got the
So
shit
much-
under the
she
stick.
really did. Like I was
thing
out.
is,
like-
I was president like before COVID
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then throughout until Izzy became president.
Mhm.
But then simultaneously, for about a year, I was also captain because our numbers at the time were so low
Yeah.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so I think it's because everything fell on me at a certain point. No one knew what I was actually responsible for afterwards. And then it just became like a confusing mess.
We'll do like the "Oh Captain, my captain" cheer sometimes, like if they score a try or just like they do something great. I remember there was one tournament where I don't know what you did, probably scored a try, and I'm like, wait, is Shannon my captain or my president, or is she both? Because I don't know what to say right now,
Yeah.
and I feel like right now. There are 2 names that come to mind when you think of Plattsburgh rugby,
Mhm.
and it's Sean Morgan and Shannon. They're just so tied to the organization.
Really?
And I know Sean's retiring, you're graduating, but those 2 names will just always be synonymous.
Sean's retiring?
Sean is retiring.
Next year will
Wow.
be his last coaching year.
Yep.
Wow.
He announced this at the TNT like senior awards.
Mhm.
I missed that.
All of our jaws fell to the floor.
Yeah.
None of us had any idea. He just was like on like kind of like a little ramble and then went, and because I'm retiring at the end of next year, we were like,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
Wow.
Everyone went,
Room fell silent.
"Ugh."
I
And
think the
then
bartender gasped too.
everyone just like no one knew this. Like he did not disclose this to anyone.
Do you think there's gonna be enough leadership to fill both your roles?
I think so.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
totally think so.
Really?
And I think even if it doesn't come from those set positions exactly, I
Mhm.
think all upperclassmen will fulfill whatever role they need to,
Mm.
and then
People
some.
want to. Like, I feel like sometimes it's like pulling teeth, getting people to like want to take a leadership position,
Mhm.
or like on the other side of the coin, people will jump at it for like some type of status and then like not do anything.
Right.
I think people now, like more than ever, like genuinely want to help.
Mhm.
Like so many people have like expressed like wanting some type of leadership role,
Mhm.
like no matter what role it is.
Who do you think is gonna take a step up?
I think I could see either of our scrummies taking a step up.
Well,
Um,
Marissa is VP. She
yeah.
won that, and Evie is president. So I know for a fact that those two are going to do a great job.
Mm-hmm.
They're excited. Evie has been talking about like running for president for a while, and then she did and she got it. So very exciting for her.
And she's texted me and was like, "Hey, when you get any free time, like I want to talk about my duties as president," which is just really refreshing to see, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice. And then as for captain, there should be 2 captains if like Reptar wants to go that way.
For backs and
pack
forwards.
captain and and a line captain. So like whoever gets those positions, I kind of have a couple of people in mind that might. I don't want to jinx it though, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. But the 2 people who I have in mind would 100% want to take a step in the right direction and like fulfill that role like wholeheartedly because they already have started. Like I already see them like trusting their gut, like doing what they can to help the team, like wanting to like take that step forward.
Yeah, and I was talking to Coach Morgan earlier, and I was talking to him about the article, and he was like really stressing how important the school is in keeping rugby up and running. He's like, oh, Mike Howard does a great job. What kind of role does the school play?
Melissa Lemaire plays a very big role as the head of rec and club sports.
Okay.
I've never had any interaction, to be frank, with Mike Howard in terms of club sports, only
Melissa
NCAA.
is
Right,
like,
I figured,
Yeah.
with track.
She wears that hat and she runs with it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she does a great job.
If you go into Melissa's office, there's just stacks and stacks of papers, like all the papers from all the club presidents, the captains. Like she sets up like the CPR stuff for us and like tells us when it is. Title IX, club trainings, like everything is through Melissa. Like she is SUNY Plattsburgh. If we're giving thanks to the school, Melissa Lemire is SUNY Plattsburgh because it's all her.
And she
like, genuinely.
is so proud of what she does. It's great to see. Like she is at every club event that goes on, every club sporting event that goes on, or if it's not here at home, she's sending an email about it for her weekly updates.
Yep, she does like Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
If you like can't reach her, like if there's a will, there's a way. Like for Melissa.
Yeah, and a big reason I was excited to have you guys on is I've talked with even some of my writers, people I know, and they're like, we have a women's rugby team, and I'm sure people walking by see Memorial Field like covered. They're like, what's going on, So I'm just I'm glad you guys get the chance to do this right now. And is there anything that you guys would like to shout out specifically?
Well, if anyone else is interested in learning more about Plattsburgh women's rugby, we do have an Instagram page
and a TikTok.
TikTok is at Plattsburgh Rugby, and our Instagram page is at Plattsburgh W Rugby.
Okay, and you guys have a really good photographer too, so just put that out there. But yeah, Izzy, Shannon, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us, Colin.
Yeah, I've learned so much. I hope the audience learned so much. I'm just really happy that you guys are here, so I appreciate it. Thanks for watching another episode of House of Cards. It was an honor to have Shannon and Izzy on. I thank them very much. That's right, Winston. This is Izzy's dog, Winston. I really appreciate you watching the 4th episode of House of Cards, and that will be the last one for the semester. Tune in the fall semester for more guests. We're going to be doing fall sports. Go back, watch all the other ones on YouTube. Thank you very much. I've had a lot of fun doing this. Sasha has too. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. But Winston and I say goodbye and have a good summer. Thank you.